You'll never marry that mechanic fool. As long as I'm alive, Adana, if I catch him near you again, I'll kill him.
Did you lie?
You can cage me, father, but you can't cage my heart. I love him. Nothing you do will change that. Adana had everything money could buy. Cars, luxury, a private driver to school, and even bodyguards who stood like shadows. But what she didn't have was freedom. Her father, Chief Enadozie, was one of Abuja's biggest oil tycoons. He lost his wife during Adana's birth and swore nothing would ever take his only daughter from him. That promise became her prison. While other girls her age hung out at cafes and parties, Adana went from home to class and back home. No stops, no friends, no fun. But when she finally gained admission into Uni Abuja, she thought, maybe this is my chance to finally live. The first few weeks were quiet, just lectures, new faces, and whispers of a boy named Tunde Blaze, the campus bad boy. Tunde wasn't like the other guys. He had dreadlocked hair, a chain around his neck, and a tattoo of a phoenix rising from flames across his right arm, the kind of tattoo that drew both fear and curiosity. Rumor said he was expelled once from another university for fighting. Others said he once saved a girl from cultists. No one knew the truth. One afternoon, after a boring lecture, Adana's car refused to start near the campus gate. Her driver had gone to get fuel, and suddenly, two street boys tried to snatch her phone. Before she could scream, someone grabbed one of them by the collar and threw him aside like paper. It was Tunde. No words, just a cold stare, a slight nod, and he walked away. Adana's heart beat differently that evening. Something about him, his fearlessness, his mystery, pulled her closer. For the first time, she didn't want a polished rich boy in suit. She wanted him. The next day, she saw him again under the mango tree near the faculty canteen, earphones in, sketching something in a notebook. She hesitated, heart racing, then walked up to him. "Hey, thank you for the other day," she said softly. He looked up briefly. "No problem. Can I have your number?" He looked at her again, this time longer. "You don't look like someone who should be talking to me." "Maybe that's why I want to," she replied. A faint smirk crossed his lips before he wrote his number on her palm with a pen. That night, Adana couldn't sleep. She kept replaying the moment, the way he looked at her, the danger in his eyes, and the peace it brought her at the same time. She didn't know that number would change everything. Her world, her father's empire, and her future. Adana never knew love could feel this reckless. At first, it was just messages. "Hey, are you awake?" Or, "You eat?" But soon their chats turned into late-night phone calls that lasted for hours. Tunde wasn't like anyone she'd ever met. He talked with a rough edge, but there was honesty in his voice. He laughed loudly, argued passionately, and never treated her like the fragile glass her father did. "Your problem be say you too dey fear your papa," Tunde once teased. "And your problem be say you no fear anybody," she replied, giggling. They started meeting secretly, at the back of the campus football field, in dim cafes where no one would notice, and sometimes in his small off-campus room filled with music posters, sketch pads, and the scent of engine oil and cologne. One evening, Adana snuck out after her father's driver dropped her at the hostel. She changed from her usual long gowns into a simple t-shirt and jeans, tied her hair, and met Tunde behind the faculty building. He was sitting on his motorcycle, helmet in hand. "Ready?" he asked. "For what?" "For small freedom." He took her on a late-night ride through Abuja, past glowing streetlights and quiet estates. The wind hit her face, and for once, she felt alive. No guards, no cameras, no rules. When they stopped at Jabi Lake, She turned to him, smiling. "This is the first time I'm seeing Abuja like this." Tunde looked at her, his eyes softer than usual. "You've been living in a cage, princess." Her heart skipped. Something about the way he said princess melted her. By the next week, Chief Ndozi began to notice changes. Adana smiled too much. She stayed longer on her phone. Her grades dropped slightly. He warned her one evening during dinner. "I hope you're not wasting your time on some useless boy, Adana. I didn't send you to that university to mingle with street rats." She forced a smile. "No, Daddy. I'm just focused on school." But guilt and love fought inside her chest. A few days later, Tunde got into a fight on campus, defending a friend who was being bullied by cultists. When she heard, Adana ran straight to the scene, ignoring her father's guards who trailed her. He was bleeding from the lip but still smirking. "You shouldn't be here," he said. "And you shouldn't keep getting hurt," she fired back, eyes glistening. Then, without thinking, she hugged him. Tunde froze for a second, then wrapped his arms around her, his tattoo brushing against her skin. In that quiet moment, the world disappeared, just two hearts beating faster than they should. That night, when she got home, her father was waiting in the living room, holding her phone. "Who is Tunde Blaze?" he asked coldly. Her throat went dry. "He's just a friend. Stay away from him. I know his kind. Broke, violent, uneducated. I will not let you destroy your future for a street boy." Tears filled her eyes, but inside, something snapped. She wasn't going to let her father decide who she could love anymore. That night, she texted Tunde. "He found out, but I don't care. I choose you." And from that message, their love story crossed a line that would never be reversed. Days turned into weeks, and Adana's world became a secret war. Every message she sent to Tunde was a risk. Every smile in public a coded confession. Tunde started working part-time at a mechanic shop off Gwagwalada Road. His clothes were always stained with oil, but Adana didn't care. She would sneak out with lunch packs just to see him eat. He once told her, "You know, for a rich girl, you fit survive anywhere." She laughed. "Maybe because you're teaching me how." But beneath the laughter, danger was crawling closer. One afternoon, as they sat together under the half-broken shed near the mechanic yard, Tunde suddenly looked serious. "Adana, your father. That man get eyes everywhere. I no want make you get in trouble because of me." "I'm already in trouble because of you," she whispered. He smiled faintly. "Then we both doomed." They didn't know that one of Chief Ndozi's security men had been trailing her for weeks, snapping pictures, recording videos, tracking every move. That evening, when Adana returned home, her father was waiting again. This time with printed photos on the table, pictures of her and Tunde, laughing, hugging, even holding hands. "Explain this!" he thundered, slamming the table. Her hands shook. "Daddy, I love him." "Love? You love a thug with tattoos? I warned you, Adana." "Because he's not rich? Because he's not like you?" she screamed back, tears falling. Chief Ndozi's voice broke into a dangerous calm. "As long as I live, that boy will never come near you again." He called two men in black suits. "Find him. Teach him a lesson he will never forget." That night, Tunde's workshop was raided. The men destroyed tools, smashed his bike, and warned him to stay away from Adana or end up 6 feet under. When he called Adana, his voice was shaking with anger. "Your father sent men to me." "I didn't know. I swear I didn't know," she cried. "I told you he'll never accept us. This no be film, Adana. This na real life." But I can't lose you, Tunda. Silence. Then a deep sigh from his end. I love you too much to see you cry. But if staying away go keep you safe, maybe I should go. The line went dead. Adana couldn't sleep. The next morning she left home early and went straight to his damaged workshop. He was packing his few belongings into a small bag. You're leaving? She asked, voice trembling. He turned. Before your father kills me. She walked up to him, tears filling her eyes. Then take me with you. He froze. Adana. I mean it. I can't stay there anymore. I can't breathe in that house. He looked at her for a long moment, then pulled her into his arms. Then we run. Tonight. That night, Adana packed a small bag, left her phone, and sneaked out through the back gate. Tunde was waiting with a borrowed car. As the headlights cut through the dark Abuja road, she looked at him, rough, reckless, and completely hers. Where are we going? She asked. Anywhere your father can't find us, he said. She leaned on his shoulder, whispering, As long as I'm with you. The night breeze was cold as they sped through the quiet streets of Abuja. Adana's heart pounded, part fear, part freedom. She kept glancing back, half expecting her father's black SUVs to appear behind them. Relax, Tunda said softly, one hand on the wheel. We're safe for now. They drove for hours until they reached a small guest house on the outskirts of the city. Dusty roads, flickering bulbs, and silence everywhere. It wasn't luxury, but for the first time, she felt free. Inside the small room, Adana sat on the bed, her face pale but glowing with relief. I can't believe I did this, she whispered. Tunda leaned against the wall, watching her. You really left everything for me? She nodded. I didn't leave everything. I left what never felt like mine. He smiled faintly. You're crazy, you know that? Maybe I got it from you, she said, moving closer. They both laughed, the kind of laugh that hides pain. Then silence filled the room again. It wasn't planned. It wasn't perfect. But when he touched her hand, she didn't pull away. Tunda's fingers traced her cheek slowly. You sure about this? She nodded, eyes glistening. I've never been surer. That night they held each other like two broken souls, finally finding home. No guards, no rules, no fear. Just them. And love that burned too real to last. The next morning the sun crept through the curtain. Tunda was outside fixing something in the car when Adana came out, smiling shyly, wearing his oversized t-shirt. You're smiling, he said. Because for once I feel alive, she replied. But their peace didn't last long. By evening, she noticed one of her father's security jeeps parked near the highway, the same tinted Toyota Prado her father used. Her heart dropped. Tunde, wait! She shouted. But before he could turn, gunshots, screams, chaos. Tunde fell to the ground, blood on his shoulder. Adana screamed his name, kneeling beside him, shaking his body. Tunde! No! Stay with me, please! A car door slammed. Men stepped out, wearing black suits, her father's men. One of them grabbed her roughly. Madam, your father said we should bring you home. She screamed and kicked, but they dragged her away as Tunde's body lay motionless on the ground. Back at home, Chief Nadozi locked her in her room, posting guards at every corner. He thought he had saved her, but in truth, he had just broken her completely. For days, Adana refused to eat. She sat by the window, replaying every moment, his laugh, his touch, his voice. Then, one morning, she began to vomit. The test confirmed it. She was pregnant, Tears poured down her face. She pressed her hand to her stomach and whispered, "Tunde, you're still here. You didn't really leave me." That same day, she made a promise to herself. If she ever got out again, she would find him, dead or alive. It had been 3 months since the gunshots. 3 months since Adana buried her heart along with the man she loved. Her father believed everything was over, that she would forget him, start a new life, and obey again. But Adana was not the same girl anymore. She was carrying Tunde's child, a secret she protected like a flame in the wind. And every night, she dreamed of him calling her name from afar. One cloudy morning, she convinced the maid to sneak her out, pretending she needed fresh air. She went straight to the mechanic shop where Tunde once worked. The owner, an old man named Musa, looked shocked when he saw her. "Madam Adana, you're alive, oh. But you shouldn't be here." Her heart raced. "Please, Uncle Musa, just tell me. Was Tunde buried?" The man hesitated, looking around. Then he whispered, "They never buried Some boys rush go one clinic that night. I hear say, he no die." Her breath caught. "What did you say?" "I say he no die. But he disappear after he wake up. No one see again." Adana's knees almost gave way. Tears of disbelief rolled down her face. He was alive. Tunde was alive. That night, she sneaked into her father's office and found one of his men's phones. Scrolling through messages, she found a text that froze her blood. "Target escaped. We lost him near Mararaba, still monitoring his friend's workshop." Without thinking, she packed her bag and ran. At midnight, she took a cab and went straight to Mararaba, a place far from her father's control. The driver dropped her near an abandoned filling station. The night was cold, the streets empty. Then she saw him. Standing near an old car, wearing a hoodie, a bandage still on his shoulder, Tunde. For a moment, she couldn't move. He turned, saw her, and froze. "Adana?" She ran into his arms, sobbing uncontrollably. "I thought you were dead." "I almost was," he whispered, "but I couldn't leave you like that." They held each other for a long time, trembling, love and pain merging in silence. Later, inside the car, she held his hand and said softly, "Tunde, I'm pregnant." He stared at her, stunned, then smiled weakly, his eyes watering. "So even death no fit separate us," he said quietly. She nodded, wiping her tears. "We can't stay here. My father will find us again." He turned on the ignition. "Then we go far. This time, no looking back." 2 weeks later, with the help of a friend who worked at the airport, they managed to board a flight to Ghana under fake names. As the plane lifted, Adana held his hand tightly. He looked at her stomach and smiled. "Our baby go grow up free. No fear, no cage." She leaned on his shoulder. "You and me against the world, Tunde." Outside, the clouds swallowed Abuja's skyline, the city that gave them pain and love all at once. Inside, they found peace for the first time. 1 year later, in Accra, Ghana, Adana sat on a balcony with a baby boy in her arms. Tunde was fixing a car across the street, his dreadlocks tied back, tattoo glinting under the sun. She watched him smile at their child, and for the first time, her heart whispered, freedom was worth it.